second speaker is Miss Eugenia Jordan. She is the Vice President Marketing of Parallel Wireless. Welcome to our webinar, Miss Eugenia. And our third speaker is Bapak Yosua Hutapea. He is the Implementation Manager from Parallel Wireless. Welcome, Pak Yosua. Okay.
Hi, everyone.
Okay. And before we start, let me share the rules for the webinar. This is a moderated webinar. So everyone, if you have any questions, you can put your question into the chat box. Chat box here. I think you can click and then type your questions. And if your question is not answered yet, don't worry, because it will be answered offline and uploaded into our LinkedIn Open Run Indonesia Community Forum group. Okay? Yeah. So I will share you the link first for our Open Run community group. So in case you want to have more knowledge, information, this is our Open Run Indonesia group, and secondly, you can fill in the attendance list here. We would like to know you and perhaps update you with the events, or workshop or certification or trainings if you fill in the attendance list. Okay. And so we can start with the first speaker, Pak Yuda Febrianta from Telkom University. Please, Pak Yuda, you can present your presentations. Slides here. Everything okay?
Have you seen my presentation?
Yes, Pak.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, it's still started, Pak. Yeah, we will see it soon. Okay. Yes, it's there now. Thank you.
Okay. So my screen is a bit flickering. It took a bit time. Okay. So I think it is set up. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. So in Indonesia now, it is 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Maybe somebody come from the other part of the world in the morning, maybe, so in the night. Thank you for having me. So basically, I will introduce myself. My name is Yuda Febrianta. Daily, I'm working at the Telkom University, handling the lab. It is actually mentioned here as the IP Community Lab Indonesia at Telkom University. So today, basically, I will not talking too much about the very engineering parts, but actually about the whole concept or the whole initiative. I will talk about the whole initiative about the why there should be KLP Community Lab at our campus, Telkom University. The title for today's webinar is basically Open Run and the path towards mobile network modernization. We all know that the network telecommunication is basically now is moving towards into the newest. We have already we have 2G, 3G, 4G, and now we are facing 5G. It is not a brand new technology. Actually, there is some initiative from the MNOs from 2017, I think. But then there is a requirement from the government to push the implementation of this technology all over Indonesia. As we know, Indonesia is very, very maritime country. I mean, we have around 17,000 island. Yeah, so it is difficult, yeah, to covering all of the telecommunication infrastructure to providing to 275 million people in Indonesia. So this is a change, yeah. Sorry, it is a big challenge, yeah, for the MNOs to provide the network or accessibility to the telecommunication network in Indonesia. Okay. Yep. Yeah. Why we collaborate with the IP? The IP is Telecom Infra Project. Yeah. It is basically a global community. Yeah, of companies and also organization working together to accelerate the development and deployment of technology solution, which is deliver high quality connectivity. The world required. Yeah, the demand of the world now and the decades later on. So inside of the TIP, there is so many organizations. I think there is 650, yeah, organization all over the world. There is service provider like MNOs, multinational operators, and then ISP, MSOS, and then also we have technology partner here like OEM, uh, yeah, startup and research institute also. Yeah, we have today also Parallel Wireless, yeah, which is join this to give the speaker here. Also, there is system integrators. Later on, it is a big company which will provide the services to collaborate to create a solution at the network. Also, we have connectivity stakeholder, yeah, like municipalities, enterprise, and internet companies. Yeah. Then the IP collaborate. Sorry, yeah. the the first initiative is actually it is come from also from the government, yeah. The Mr. President Pak Jokowi mentioned that we need to improve our human resource development, our infrastructure construction, yeah, to prioritize investment that create jobs, economic transformation. Yeah. It's all requires the technology. Yeah. It is like enabler of to grow the economy. Yeah. So it is aligned with the vision of the government. Yeah, the TIP initiative is basically aligned with the government. It is mentioned that later on we will start, yeah, to work on access network. Yeah, so this is fulfill the government aspiration. Yeah? And also later on, not only on the access network, but later we will uh, always grows with the development of the new technology. Yeah? Instead of the TIP, they will provide the community lab, yeah, which is like in our campus, yeah, Telkom University, TIP Community Lab. We will have lab trial, lab fest, R&D, etc. Also, they will provide demo, yeah, to provide the flight trial, commercial deployment also. And then also the IP provide the enabler for the startup. Yeah, it is called Teach. The IP accelerate, yeah, program for incubation, yeah, for the startup. And also we will develop the learning platform, yeah, like training, bootcamp, workshop, hackathon, and also arrange the event like today's webinar. Yeah, so it is very aligned with the government aspiration. Yeah. Also, Telkom University as a university, we have a vision. It is also same the vision. Basically, we are having the vision to be a research and entrepreneurial university in 2023. Yeah. So we will very supporting to provide the human resources on telecommunication, not only on telecommunication but also the other sector. Yeah. We have around 35,000 active students by now, and we have around 45,000, yeah, the alumni. Yeah. So this is not only at our university, but we have also some branch in Indonesia, also having some student, yeah, handled by the foundation. Yeah. So it is on Telkom Foundation. We also encouraging the other university to be involved in this project, basically. Yeah. Uh, like the university, as we know, there is 4,500 university all over Indonesia. Yeah, we encourage all of the partners also and the other university to involve in this initiative. Yeah. So basically, we are creating the human resource capabilities to support the new deployment technology. So this is very important for the important asset, yeah, for the nation. Okay. So yeah, this is our lab. Yeah, basically we have here at Bandung. Yeah, Bandung we have uh, supported by MNOs. Yeah, by SI or so OEM. Uh, Actually, Indonesia is Southeast Asia provided uh, lab by the IB supported to spread, yeah, to spread the development in the Southeast Asia region. Yeah, so the IB collaborated with us to arrange the deployment later on the Southeast Asia region. Yeah. So it is has been launched by the ministry. Yeah, thanks for with Pak Joni G. Plata, which has been inaugurate our launching on December 17, 2020. So he has very big support, yeah, to deploy this lab and to support the activity, yeah, uh, not only at the university but also collaborate with the MNOs and also the other organization as the communities need to grow and sustain something like this. Yeah. Nah, yeah, this is also being supported by Ministry of MCI. Yeah, thank you to Pak Dr. Insinyur Ismail as Director General of SDPPI. SDPPI, this is the regulating the standard of telecommunication equipment deploying in Indonesia. Yeah. So he is very supporting well. As we know that the first initiative for this lab is basically deploying the Open RAN network. Yeah, it's actually modernized than the network formerly. Yeah, because it is multi-vendor and then also this aggregated network. Basically, it is separating the software and hardware. Yeah, so it is easily to be deployed. Yeah, easily to be expand, something like this. Yeah, so I will not touch into the engineering parts later on. By Yusua and Miss Eugenia will uh, in, uh, enlighten us. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so as I mentioned before, the initiative is not come from our lab, basically. Yeah, the MNOs in Indonesia has been developing 5G network. Yeah, they will start to have trial from 2007, yeah, 2017. Yeah, Telkomsel, XL Axiata, Indosat, also the Smartfren. Yeah, three also. Uh, it is yes, of course, it is not the easy path, something like this. So it has through so many challenges, something like this, because also now we are developing the regulation. Yeah, we are also collaborate working hard with the Ministry of Communication and Informatics to develop or to arrange the regulation handling the 5G network in Indonesia. Uh, to modernize the old network, yeah, which has been deployed in all over Indonesia. Yeah, basically the our lab is a catalyst. Yeah, it's a catalyst. So we are trying to accommodate the idea, yeah, from the community. Yeah, it can come from anywhere. Yeah, from the student, maybe from the startup, small company, or OEM, something like this. Yeah. And then we define, we put common requirement. What is the requirement for the deployment of the network, something like this. or the idea, and then we build it, test it in our lab, and then release, also deploy it. So this is actually the whole part of our daily work, something like this. Yes, of course, it is not becoming at the end. We have, but I mean, we still starting from the beginning. Yeah, how we still manage how to handle the community itself is also still being challenged from this step, something like this. Yeah, but we have program also commencing from 2020 and then until 2024. 2024, we have some plan for this one. Yeah, from workshop, startup activities, and then demo, event, something like this. So we will step by step improving the community in Indonesia to make it the to make the open run technology straight very well, and then providing the human resource capability also. Then we hope, yeah, at the deployment step, it will be making very easy, yeah, for the whole stakeholder. Yeah, yeah. As we know that there is so many programs that we will create on that initiative. Yeah, we are basically connecting the dots. Yeah, from supply and demands. Yeah. And the supply, we will have some startup, something like this. At the demand, we will provide the demonstration. Inside of this, we will have the IB learning, the IB lab, also the IB event. Yeah, who is involved actually inside? Yeah, yeah. For the demand, of course, there is MNO, multinational operator, and then also Bhakti, yeah, as the organization from the Ministry of Communication, which is pushing hard to accelerate, yeah, the network deployment to improve the connectivity or accessibility for the whole Indonesian people. Yeah, not only Indonesian, but later we will expand it, yeah, into the Southeast Asia region. Yeah. Also, from the supply, there will be OEM, yeah, ODM, SI, universities or vocational school, and together we create the industry alliance, yeah, to make it easier, yeah, expanding the uh, human resource capability. Yeah, yeah. The benefit for this collaboration is basically we are collaborating so many entities here inside. Yeah, from the organization, Telkom Infra Project, GSMA, Kominfo, Bhakti, yeah, the university. By now still Telkom University, but later on we will engage all many universities all over Indonesia. Yeah, Telkomsel as a big MNO in Indonesia, Indosat also, SL Asiata, 3, Smartfren, and Net1. Uh, when we have the core community inside, yeah, basically we can do some kind of research, some kind of trial directly with the operator network, something like this. So this will becoming the benefit, becoming the real live network, something like this. Yeah? So we can do some open run testing. Somehow we try to do some deployment in commercial supporting, yeah, and at the deployment at the commercial side. Maybe we build the awareness and also build local skill and capacity like 4G, 5G, white box, hardware, manufacturing, assembly, and also system integration. Yeah? And also for the startup, yeah, this is important for the community. Yes, of course, we will not forget the support also from the others, yeah, like the OEM. This is very important players, like Parallel Wireless, yeah, and Malbenir, Comba. Later on, they will try to support us also, providing the equipment. But now, at the time, we have the equipment from Parallel Wireless. Yeah, it is already installed in our lab, basically. Paisel also will support us providing the 5G network, yeah, the whole 5G network, and then Facebook connectivity as the big organization. They are also providing the support for this lab. Okay, yeah, this is the potential partnership and collaboration. Yeah, I engage everyone here to have collaboration with us, yeah, including collaboration to do some hardware research, software research, also solution in Open RAN. Also later on with the Ministry of Communication, we are invited to analyze or define the policy, something like this, and management of the network in Indonesia. We also engage the startup and then creating business model to develop Open RAN. Also, yes, of course, not only Open RAN regulation, but later on the other regulation other than Open RAN in Indonesia also. We are working close with the ministry and also trying to provide the penetration network for the Indonesian people. This is very, very important to make our economics grow, something like this. Yeah, as the starting point, we have now several startups which already engaged to us, and then they're trying to uh, start to develop or deploy their equipment to our network. From the left we can see there is SMAS system online management sampah. This is like the trash management system. They have IoT technology, and then they want to embed the technology into the network. Also, the right side there is solar power monitoring system. They try to manage the power at the site, cell site, or some other place, building, or something like this. Then there is engagement also from overseas. There is some startup come from Singapore and Bangladesh. They are trying to do the network orchestration. How we can create the service like this and then provide the service to the customer. But at the first time, because they need to connect to the operator also, to experiencing their software, something like this. How can they manage the orchestration of the network, like the core part, something like this. Also, the engagement from the operators other than Indonesia, there is some operators from Philippines, also later on asking to try to do the trial test at the Telkom University. Okay, then also the initiation from the local company, like SI, system integrator. There is the left part is from Indonesia, PT Alita Praya Mitra. It is also engaged to try to join at the pioneer. Later on, they will try to build the network in supporting the MNO, something like this. And also from the Canada, KCC Tech also initiate engagement to support the activity at the lab. It is not complete. If I didn't show you some facility at our lab. So I think this is our location at Bandung. You can come to our lab also to have discussion, to have the collaboration. And this is the facility inside. There is several rooms. We can do some workshop here. Also trial already done by now with the Telkomsel Indosat. Later on, I think Yuswa can explain it very well. This is CWS equipment from the parallel wireless, which is already running on from now. Some work happened, and then facility to collaborate here also. And then I encourage everyone, if you have having some ideas on how to implement the Open RAN network in Indonesia, or you have any consideration on the business model or any kind of collaboration with us, you can send your request to us, and then we can contact you later on. Okay? So I think it is enough from my side. I hope you have a nice webinar for today. Thank you so much for your attention. Good afternoon. I will send it back to Pusinta. Thank you, Pusinta.
Thank you, Pak Yuda. Very
You're
nice
welcome.
presentations, and you can see the insight of TIP Community Lab in Indonesia. Yeah, the 14th in the Asia, yeah, in Asia and in the world, yeah, and the first in the Asia. Sorry, yeah. Thank you. And Pak Yuda, for your sessions, we will open questions as well. So anyone, if you have any questions, please put your question on the chat box. Yeah, and I will read the question and Pak Yuda will answer your questions. If there is any questions, you can freely put the questions on the chat box. Yeah, chat box. Yeah. So Pak Yuda already mentioned that there are why Telkom University collaborates with TIP, right, Pak? And then we have the TIP Community Labs, TIP Demo, right? These are the programs, yeah. TIP Startup, TIP Learning, TIP Event, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And for the webinar materials, it will be uploaded in our Open Run Indonesia group as well. So don't worry, okay, yeah. Okay, so any questions? Yeah.
Maybe we can do later.
Okay, sure.
Oh yeah,
So
if it is
we
not
can,
possible.
yeah. Yeah, so there is one question from
Oh.
Pak Iman Rahmat Hidayat. Yeah. How to access TIP Lab or TIP Learning? Please, Pak Yuda, you can answer the questions.
Yes, thank you, Pak Iman. It is very nice question. Basically, we are still developing the platform. Yeah, Telkom University have the LMS for the learning. Yeah, so later on we will embed the learning into the learning management system. Yeah, it is basically used by daily activity in our campus, but later on we will provide some different way. Yeah, because you are the member of the KIP community, and not from the student, something like this. Yeah. So it is still on the progress, developing that step. But yes, we have some training program. Later on, we will also mention it on our website. You can access it also on tip.telkomuniversity.ac.id. Yeah, we will provide later on the platform for the learning. Yeah, into the LMS. Yeah, for the access at the lab, basically we are encourage everyone to have the conversation first. I hope later on, later Bu Sinta will share you the initiation form or something like this, or maybe consideration form that you can put your idea or put your initiative. Then we can discuss and then following up to the real communication. Usually it is very easy. You just send me email. Yeah. Also from that form, I will reach out your email, and then I will inform you how many percent you want to come, and then what is your intention. Later we will provide maybe the other resources to support it, like our other researcher, or maybe you want to meet somebody or something like this. Then we can do some collaboration later on our discussion, something like this. Okay, I think this time, Bu Sinta.
Okay, thank you, Pak Yuda.
Sure.
We do hope Pak Iman satisfied with your answers. So I think he is. And then second question, yeah, Pak Yuda.
Yes.
From Carlos Saul Perez. Yeah. Dear all, for the radio access, you use parallel wireless. How about the core? Who is the provider for the testing? Can you please answer this question, Pak Yuda?
Yeah. Yeah, for the core parts, basically by now we still using the operator side. Yeah. But later maybe Pak Yuswa will explain you much more detail. Yeah. This is for the first step. We are still running the radio first at our lab, but later on we will add also initiative from Tech Bros, providing us with the equipment also later on. Yeah, they will use the from Red Hat OpenShift or Wind River, something like this. Yeah, so this is still on the first stage, first tier, and then I hope later on we will improve it. Yeah. Thank you, Sinta.
Okay, thank you, Pak Yuda. Yeah, thank you for the questions. And the last questions, yeah. Okay, I will choose from Pak Teguh. Okay. Does any operator in Indonesia implement the open rent already or not yet, Pak?
Yeah. So I think this part will be covered by Miss Eugenia or Pak
Oh yeah.
Yusua,
Okay.
yeah?
Yeah, we'll
Because
keep the
they are
questions.
working on the project.
Yeah. Okay, and then the other questions also will be answered offline, yeah? Okay.
Yes. Thank you
Okay,
so
thank
much.
you all. Yeah, thank you, Pak Yuda.
Yes, you're welcome.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Miss Eugenia. Okay, and next speaker, Miss Eugenia, it's your time and your Zoom, please. Yeah, thank you.
Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. How is everyone doing? Thank you so much for finding the time in your busy schedule to attend this presentation. And thank you so much to the previous speaker for covering what TIP is all about. We've been partners with TIP for 5+ years, and it's an amazing organization that enabling innovation, collaboration, and new Open RAN ecosystem. Before we start this presentation, let me do a quick introduction of myself, because you're wondering who's this lady on the screen talking to me about Open RAN. So I'm Russian born. I am a Russian born American. I moved to the States 25 years ago, and I'm a self-made woman. I worked myself from a secretary to a telecom executive, and I'm very proud of my accomplishments. I have 5 patents, including 2 on Open RAN. And just the previous speaker was saying, anything is possible with innovation. Anyone can submit, anyone can invent. And my passion is to teach others about Open RAN. So please follow me on LinkedIn. I post daily tips on Open RAN. And my other passion is to help other women in telecom, because there is so much young talent, like previous speaker was saying, coming into telecom. It's our responsibility as the industry, not only invent the new technologies, but also enable young people to implement them and innovate. My other speaker is Josua. So do you want to introduce yourself briefly before we dive in?
Okay, let me quickly introduce myself. Thank you, Eugenia. Thank you all. Good evening, all. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Joshua Utapea. I am implementation manager at Parallel Wireless. I've been working at PW since October 2019, and then I got bachelor degree in Telecom University here in Bandung. Same like Pak Yuda here. I started a journey as a 3G engineer in 2007, and I also live in Jakarta. Here I have 1 wife and 2 kids. One is 5 years old, and the champ is 6 months old. Okay, that's my quick introduce. So let me get back to you, Ms. Eugenia.
Thank you very much. And I have a 16-year-old. So, and this mug actually tells really well who I am. It says wife, mom, boss. And I'm actually a kid boss. I'm a boss at work, and I have 3 dogs. So I boss them around too. So let's move into the agenda of this presentation. So what we're going to cover here is Open RAN definition, because there's a lot of confusion what Open RAN actually is. We'll show how Open RAN gets disaggregated. We'll cover Open RAN Alliance and importance of Open RAN Alliance for open interfaces. We'll quickly look at the Open RAN case studies in emerging markets with Vodafone Turkey and in developed markets with Inland Cellular. And then Joshua will cover what Parallel Wireless is doing in TIP Lab. There's a lot of great innovation happening there. And then we'll summarize what is the future of Open RAN. So this is a brief introduction of how hardware and software disaggregation evolved. What's happening in telecom industry with Open RAN, software and hardware disaggregation, been happening since Microsoft times. It was enabled by Moore's Law. What Moore's Law is, it's the ability to innovate with smaller, more cost-effective, more powerful chips. And when hardware became more powerful, software was able to enable that hardware. And that's how Microsoft was born. They took a bet on software, and here they are today, a multi-billion-dollar company. As Moore's Law enabled more and more innovation with hardware, the world of enterprise started changing. A whole bunch of hardware companies disappeared because they didn't make a bet on software. But a whole bunch of new players have emerged: Linux, Red Hat, VMware, Arista. And this is when the innovation and software disruption started happening in our world, in telecom. First, 10 years ago, it started in EPC, when EPC became virtualized, and that software was able to go on a code server. Many boxes simply disappeared. Another interesting thing that happened in the industry in the last 10 years is a lot of consolidation. And consolidation drives vendor lock-in. So we ended up with only 3 vendors in the telecom market. So innovation was actually happening because of lack of innovation, stagnancy in the market. And that's where TIP came in, because TIP's mission is to connect people across the world, because technology is nothing unless it can bring life-enabling services to us, the end users, or the businesses. And 5 years ago, we started working with TIP, we started working with Vodafone, and this is how Open RAN was born. So, if you're not very familiar with telecom, this will level set. So there are cell towers. You see them everywhere. They're big things. They have radios on top. They have servers on the bottom. And then there's a data center where your core goes. So on site with the cell tower, there is hardware, that's your radios. And then there is hardware on the bottom, that's your server, BBU. And software goes there. Software is the brain of the network. So now that we're all level set, let me explain to you why Open RAN. 80% of CapEx and OpEx mobile operators spend on RAN. It's very expensive. And because of consolidation in the market, what's been happening is mobile operators were not able to mix and match. So the radio on top came from the same vendor as the BBU on the bottom. And the software from the same vendor was on that BBU. because you cannot mix and match components. Guess what's been happening? The prices went up. TCO went up, total cost of ownership. When total cost of ownership goes up, can mobile operators afford to bring coverage to everyone and everywhere? Of course not. With Open RAN, this is what's happening. On the left, you see virtual RAN. Virtual RAN by default is you have a radio on top, you have interfaces that are not open, and then you have the BBU on the bottom. Though your software is virtualized because interfaces are not open, you cannot mix and match. So Open RAN is open interfaces. You have your COTS-based hardware on top of your tower. You can buy it from any ODM. And that's what TIP is enabling. They're working with radio hardware partners, Comba, Base Cells. There's even Star program to develop cost-effective open radios, 7.2 split based. And then on the bottom, you have a COTS server, any x86 server where you can put any vendor software, including parallel wireless. Because the components are all mixed and matched, guess what? If a vendor doesn't perform well, software vendor, they can be replaced. So it drives innovation, it drives accountability, and it drives new thinking. So new business models can be enabled. This is what we call the phase one of Open RAN. You disaggregate hardware and software, you enable interoperability, you enable innovation. The second phase of Open RAN is automating, integrating those components. And this is where TIP again comes in, because TIP is working with orchestration vendors on automating it. There are new techniques that again came from the enterprise market, DevOps, where continuous integration, continuous development can help to send software to sites and upgrade those sites. Artificial intelligence, machine learning can actually build algorithms so you don't have to send truck rolls to sites. You can automate from your algorithm. And that's the next phase of Open RAN. So just to summarize, what are the Open RAN benefits? Innovation delivers best of breed in the RAN. No vendor lock-in. You can mix and match components. And TCO reduction. It comes where you bring COTS components and automate with ZTP your installation. And OpEx reduction comes with CI and CD and machine learning and artificial intelligence. All great. Let's level set here on what Open RAN different terms mean. So if you see Open RAN with the space, it's just a movement. It's not the interfaces. Open RAN without the space, this is Telecom Infrastructure Group. And you can go on TIP website and you can find the great white papers, you can find tenants of Open RAN mission from Telecom Infra on Open RAN group. When you see ORAN with the hashtag or ORAN, it means it's ORAN Alliance. This is the interfaces that ORAN Alliance enabling between DU and CU. All clear now? Awesome. Good, 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 good. So, and here are the groups that are heavily involved in bringing this innovation to mobile operators. 3GPP driving the interfaces. They introduced the CU-DU disaggregation in release 15. Telecom infrastructure project, they are very heavily involved in advancing the technology. They might not be developing the standards, but they're the key partner in making sure that Open RAN gets adopted, governments get educated, and us as the end users benefit from it. Oran Alliance created the framework for RICs and other interfaces. So again, standards can be implemented and there's no more lock-ins. So let's level set again on the disaggregation, because there is a lot terminology being, thrown out there. So what is RU? That's your radio unit. It transmits RF or radio signal, and it's normally deployed at the edge. What is DU? This is your distributed unit software. That's not hardware, that's software. And it processes real-time transactions. What is your CU? CU is centralized unit software. It processes non-real-time transactions, can be deployed on-site, but it can also be deployed in the data center, depending on the business model. And Oran Alliance is working on the interfaces between DU and CU and RICs. This architecture was actually introduced by 3GPP in release 15. And this is tips view of Open RAN. Let's just bring it all together, right? Old RAN, legacy RAN on the left, new multi-vendor, disaggregated, and Open RAN on the right. You see how many different colors on the right? Because they represent the new ecosystem. They represent ecosystem partners. They represent innovation. And when you can bring different components from different vendors, you can enable the best of breed in the RAN. And to integrate all this, TIP is actually having Plugfest and labs, and one of those labs is in Indonesia. And this is where DevOps or phase 2 automation of Open RAN comes in, because all these components, they get orchestrated so they can operate as one. Case studies. Let me cover really quickly. This is Parallel Wireless. We've been working on Open RAN for the last 8 years. We're a US-based startup, and we're the first company that realized Open RAN needs to be brought in 2G, 3G, not just 4G and 5G, because guess what? We live in an all G world. 2G phones, 2G service gonna be around for a while because of what people can afford. So, Turkey. If you go on TIP website, there's actually a playbook from Vodafone, and they share findings. It's basically your blueprint if you want to develop, if you want to deploy Open RAN. So it was Open RAN for 3G, 2G, and 4G. The same site, the same radio unit delivered 2G and 4G voice and data. And because it's on the same radio and the same software on the bottom supports it, the site itself gets much smaller. Because the site gets much smaller, the operational expenses with power consumption, they get smaller as well. So this is where Open RAN comes in to modernize the legacy networks. Because Open RAN allows to unify all Gs and provide services to the end users at much lower cost for mobile operators. But obviously, KPIs, they need to be as good as the legacy technologies. And here the KPIs. Vodafone and TIP proudly put those KPIs on the screen at the event because TIP and Vodafone, they're spearheading this movement. What's next? What is the social impact of this technology? It's been deployed in rural. Now, Vodafone and TIP are working on urban and dense urban scenarios. And look at Vodafone commitment to Open RAN, and this is just Vodafone. To use it to connect end users in Europe. And once operated commit to Open RAN, it means wonderful things for the end users. Look on the right, GSMA graphic that shows how many people in the world are not connected. I live in rural USA, and if I didn't have broadband, I wouldn't be able to talk to you today because on my cell phone, I have very little signal. So the connection is so important to all of us. Facebooking, e-learning, e-health, it can make such a huge impact on the quality of our lives. In the US, it's a little bit different because of the security of supply chain. In the US, mobile operators, they ended up with only 2 vendors. This is our customer. This is not me talking, the marketing lady for Parallel Wireless. This is our customer, Inland Cellular, talking to Washington Post reporter. The lady traveled last winter and she talked to Inland Cellular. And what they told her is what you see on the slide, what Yuta said. Innovation allows no vendor lock-in. It puts them in the driver's seat. Lowers TCO by 40%, not just for CapEx, but for OpEx with automation. And performance. Performance was much better than the legacy system. What's next for the developed markets? With the lowest deployment TCO and using Open RAN standards, the world in developed markets can be connected. 4G can be expanded. 5G can be brought much faster. And in the bottom right, you see the US map, and you see how many white spots are there. They're non-spots. With Open RAN at much lower cost, all those people can be connected. Let me pass the baton to Joshua to cover what we're doing in the lab. And in the meantime, please feel free to post any questions. And once Joshua finishes with his presentation, we would be so happy to answer them.
Thank you, Eugenia. Thank you all. So at the tip lab introduction, I will not more talk more because Pa Yuda has given us explanation in the beginning. So I'm going to, in this section that I'm going to talk about the background and tip from my version and also parallel wireless macro solution. The third one, ecosystem partner hardware and tip lab in Indonesia. So we begin with the background tip. This tip was formed by Facebook in 2016 as an engineer focused collaborative methodology, and for building and deploying global telecom network infrastructure with the goal of enabling global access for all. TIP enables the Open RAN ecosystem, ensure different vendors, software, and hardware equipment works with each other, is responsible for productization of use cases, and facilitates trials, field testing, and deployment. There are three main goals Open RAN, which I summarize. One is to spur innovation through building an ecosystem. Second one is to enable supplier diversity. And the last one is to reduce deployment maintenance costs. So this is the solution which we offer to the TIP and other MNOs for the macro solution. So as you can see, we have CWS here at the left, radio, which 2x2 were implemented in our lab. And this radio, like RRH legacy networks, it is common in our legacy network in Indonesia, but the design is very light. It's very compact in our equipment. And then the right side is DU and CU, which is handles in HNG, our HNG. And then I will explain this RU, radio unit. This radio unit is that handles the digital front end and the parts of PHY layer, as well as digital beamforming functionality. 5G RU designs are supposed to be inherently intelligent, but the key consideration of RU designs are size, weight, and power consumption. Now, please get back to the diagram, Eugenia. This is our DU. This is the distributed unit that sits close to RU and runs the RLC MAC parts of PHY layer. This logical nodes includes a subset of the inode function depending on functionality split option, and its operation is controlled by the CU on the right side. The CU, this is the centralized unit that runs the RRC and PDCP layers. The CU controls the operation of several DUs over the mid-haul interface, this F1. Okay, and that's why in most cases, the DU will be co-located with RU on site to conduct all intense processing tasks such as FFT and IFFT. There are three purposes of separating DU and RU. One is to reduce costs, less intelligent RU, cost less. Ability to look at a sector of RUs at once and not just an individual RU. This will help to enable features like COM, coordinate multi-point, to improve cell edge throughput and or the system throughput. As processing is done in DU, resources can be pooled, resulting in pooling gains. So there is a near RT rig. This near RT rig is microservice-based software platform for hosting microservice-based application called XApp. That XApp or microservice are virtualized function of BSC for 2G, RNC for 3G, X2 gateway for 4G, among others. So on the right side of the near RT rig, we have non-RT rig. This non-RT rig acts as a configuration layer to DU and CU software, as well as via E2 standard interface. Functionality of this non-RT RT-RIG. The functionality includes configuration management, device management, fault management, performance management, life cycle management, and all elements in the networks. It is similar like EMS and analytic reporting functionalities in legacy networks. So in our lab, the backhaul, we connected to its operators. Going to the next slide. So this is the DU CU software. The parallel wireless controller and software should enables Open RAN through the complete decoupling of hardware and software functionality based on available backhaul, fronthaul option for 2G, 3G, 4G, and 5G. Such separations lets the software supports any protocol split between DUs and CUs. This server is COTS x86-64 server. Hardware dependencies. The controller software helps manage multi-vendors while providing the lowest total cost of ownership. Next slide, please. So this is our CWS. So our CWS is the type 3050 that have the power beam 2 times 40 watts. It is very, very light, compact, and COTS 3GPP based, and then it can run 2G, 3G, 4G in the same form factor, all software defined. Can run together and 2G, 3G, and 4G. So if you see the dimension of the CWS, that's a ruler of 30 centimeters and a pen. You see how compact our CWS, and then also it is built-in GPS. This in the future we can configure this automatically with the automation for this. Okay, and going to the next slide. So so Pak Yuda has given us the pictures of situation in the lab. Actually, we have these 2 rack standing on the left side. That is our radio CWS. It belongs to each operator. So 1 rack for 1 operator. 1 operator will be 2 cells each, and then connected to RF chamber here. We don't use like conventional RF antenna that big size or omnidirectional antenna, but we use RF chamber here in the middle also here to do the testing here with the UEs. The small one, I think we can use for 1 or 2 UEs simultaneously, and then the RF chamber, the big one here, we can use more than 10 UEs in the box. So on the right side here, that we have our server, COTS server here, the software here, which is the CUDUs here. We can configure that one. We implemented it below at the rack. We have 3 server. 2 are for our HNG that we can say that our controller there, and then 1 is active, 1 is redundant, and then the other one is for our EMS. Okay, so far we have 2 MNOs are integrated to the core for the cycle 1, but Pak Yuda has mentioned in the beginning 2 operators is operate right now. So I think that's all from me. Thank you, Eugenia. You can continue.
Thank you so much. There's so many wonderful, exciting things happening in the lab. I wish COVID wasn't here, that I could travel and see all those innovations and talk to all you guys. I also want to thank all the participants. I know we're going a little bit over time, but you sticking with us. So we appreciate so much. It just shows that Open RAN is important to the industry. And here at Parallel Wireless and with TIP, we're so happy to do our part. So, in summary, what is the status of Open RAN? Vodafone, who's been driving Open RAN for the last 5 years, seeing not only great KPIs, but they're also ready to bring Open RAN to urban. Why to urban? Because urban is where majority of operator TCO is happening. So if we can reduce the cost in urban locations, if we can provide with Open RAN the same throughput, the same capabilities, we can enable the new use cases, and we can also bring 5G much faster than we were able to bring 4G. And if we look at Open RAN trends, all the analysts, they're seeing that Open RAN in the next 3 to 5 years will play a critical role in enabling connectivity, in enabling 5G, and in connecting the world. Thank you very much. Any questions for us?
Thank you, Miss Eugenia and Pak Yosua. The great presentations. Okay. And yeah, we can see in the chat now there are many questions already. Yeah, so perhaps we can have maybe maximum 5 questions to be answered. Yeah, and Miss Eugenia, you promised to answer the previous questions from Pak Teguh. The question is about the operators in Indonesia, whether they are already implement the Open RAN or not yet. Yeah, please.
So right now, mobile operators in Indonesia, they're testing the technology. They're working with TIP to create a blueprint, because it is super important to make sure that blueprints of disaggregated components are created, because it's much easier to deploy them. So Indonesia actually, from what I see with TIP Lab, they're moving much faster than we've seen in the past. So, and Parallel Wireless is very proud to be the first vendor, there's many more coming, to help mobile operators in Indonesia to deploy Open RAN.
Thank you, Ms. Eugenia. I hope it's answered the questions. So I will read out the questions for Pak Yosua. Maybe you can answer this. Yeah. Can parallel wireless virtual BBU run multiple technologies in the same platform, Pak Yosua? Please.
Absolutely can. PWVBBU software suite is designed to support all Gs, 2G, 3G, 4G, and 5G concurrently. Capabilities of different deployment use cases are defined by the amount of resources available by the code server. I think that's the answer, Ms. Intan.
Okay, thank you, Pak Yosua. Okay, thank you very much. And then the next questions, can parallel wireless virtual BBU support multiple technologies towards a single RRH? Ya, remote radio. Ya, silakan. And please, Miss Eugenia.
Yes, absolutely. So if the radio had a 7.2 radio, the COTS BBU will support 2G, 3G, and 4G. We will be using split 8 for 2G and 3G and then we will be using split 7.2 for 4G, but the radio will still be 7.2. So all the components for the software, 2G, 3G, and 4G, they will be deployed as containers. So there will be a container for 2G CU software. There will be a container for 3G and 4G, and they will be all orchestrated by one unified orchestration layer.
Okay, Gina, thank you, Miss Yudina. And then we will go to the next question. Yeah, for the questions, there is no defined interface for Open RAN between virtual BBU and the ARU for 2G and 3G technologies. So is this still Open RAN?
It is still Open RAN, so it goes back to my next question, because we're connecting to 7.2 radio, so it is still Open RAN.
Okay, so thank you. And then the
lots of good questions.
Yeah,
Thank you,
there
guys.
are lots
Yes.
of questions. And then okay, we can have yeah. Let's see. Okay, how can Open RAN? This is from how can Open RAN integration challenges be solved? Yeah. Or there is also a similar question. What will be the challenge to software and hardware decoupling in case of DU-CU using COTS? Please, Miss Eugenia.
So the challenges, because the technology is so new, the challenges are around the integration. Because in the past, mobile operators, they had to deal with just one vendor. There was just one neck to choke. So right now, there is many disaggregated components. It drives the innovation. It helps with cost. But operators are faced with the question is, where's that one neck to choke? So it will require two things. Number one is what TIP is doing, is creating labs where the integration can happen, and then it can be handed to operators as a blueprint. That's number one. And number two is the mindset. Operators need to adapt IT enterprise mindset. It's Open RAN is happening, software disaggregation is happening, so they have two choices. It's either they bring resources in-house and they retrain their workforce, or they become their own system integrator, or they partner with a system integrator. And a system integrator, it's not your traditional system integrator. It could be your hardware or your software vendor or your cloud provider. So, but as Yuda was saying, it will create a more collaborative ecosystem, and it will create a better collaboration, because those challenges integration, they cannot be solved unless all those component vendors, they work together and they are able to enable one orchestration layer to manage all those pieces.
Thank you, Miss Eugenia. That is a great answers. Also, there are still lots of questions. So from Carlos Saul Perez also is very good questions, but we will keep your questions and it will be answered, right? Offline, and then all the questions and answer will be uploaded in our Open RAN group in LinkedIn. So don't worry, including the materials, yeah, the webinar slides and question and answers. So thank you all for your presence, and it's 1 hour and almost 1.5 hours. So thank you very much. And before we leave, I ask you to take a picture together. Yeah. So Miss Eugenia, you can yeah. for the presentations. Yeah, off. Yeah. And then, yeah, first slide. Yeah, please open your video on. Yeah, switch on your video. Okay, yeah. Make it on, and we will see your pictures. Yeah. Okay.
Oh my
so,
God, it's so nice
yeah.
seeing you guys. Yes, hi.
Yeah.
How you all
Yeah.
doing?
Okay.
Thank you so much for staying. Yeah, turn your cameras on. Come on, let us see you.
Okay, thank you.
Nice to see you guys.
Okay, nice to see you all. So take a picture, yeah, for the first slide. Okay, cheese. Okay. Okay, thank you. And then the next,
Hi
please,
guys.
yeah, please open your video also. Yeah, make it on. Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you. Oh, there are many colleagues of
Yay.
mine as well. Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, and then also the third one now. Okay. Yeah. Thank
Hi
you.
guys.
Hi. Okay.
Hi guys.
And then the fourth slide.
Hey.
Okay. And then the last one.
Thank you all for staying.
Okay. Thank you very much all. Yeah. Have a great day, evening, or night maybe. Yeah, in some other part of the world. So please stay tuned for our next webinar because we have our Open Run webinar series. Yeah. Thank you very much. And yeah, good luck. Yeah.
Thank you.
Stay healthy.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
guys.
Miss Eugenia,
Okay.
Pak Yuswa, and everyone.
Bye.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Eugenia. Pak
You're
Yuswa.
welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye guys.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Bye,
Gina.
guys.
Take care.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank you
Pak
all.
Yuswa. Bye-bye.
Yes. Pak
Bye-bye.
Yudi, thank you, Pak.
Pak
Thank
Yudi.
you.
Thank you, Pak Yudi. Pak Hans.
Thank
Pak
you.
Hadi.
Bye-bye.
Pak Hans,
Terus
thank you.
tim.
Halo,
Yeah.
Zak.
Yeah. Okay.